Good evening. Welcome to tonight's live stream. This is the first Real Talk podcast, and tonight I have a fantastic special guest who's going to talk about. Oops, my camera's gone a bit wild. Who's going to talk about how he's used YouTube basically to grow his business, and how to not only become one of the best plumbers in his area, but America's favorite plumber. So I'd like to bring on Mr. Roger Wakefield. Welcome to tonight's Real Talk podcast, Roger. Great to have you on.
Thank you, David. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Now, I know you're in Texas, and Texas has had a bit of a cold snap, so it's something that they do not experience on a regular basis at all. So how are you coping with the cold weather?
Well, owning a plumbing company has really been tough on me. And don't get me wrong, we're really busy this time of year. But a week ago when I woke up, it was -2 degrees.
And that in Fahrenheit, normally the temperature, cold.
Yes, in Fahrenheit, that's cold. In Dallas, normally this time of year, it's 60, 65 degrees. And we woke up to -2 degrees. Whoa. There was snow and ice on the ground pretty much all week long. So it's been crazy. People with rolling power outages, with water being shut down, a lot of different things. So it's really been crazy.
So, and for you, like with the whole water thing and burst pipes with frozen and stuff, is good for business. But when it gets to that extent, it can be a bit hectic.
It gets so bad. And, Julia and I talked about the other day, there's not enough plumbers in Texas to take care of all these problems right now. We've got plumbers reaching out to me from all around the country because of what I do on social media, saying, what can we do to help? Can we come help? What do you need? What can we do? And it's just great to see the plumbing community pull together like that.
Wow, I didn't expect that at all, but that's fantastic. And sort of a testament to you that you've become this, I guess, figurehead in the plumbing space, that people are coming to you going, hey, how can we help Texas?
Yeah, look at it like this, David. If this is the face of plumbing, it's a tough business we're in. It's kind of tough.
So
I guess I messed you up there, didn't I?
We'll get to your branding in a minute, because it is fantastic branding and I absolutely love it. But we'll get to that in a minute. Oh, first of all, I want to start out with why YouTube? Like, why YouTube as a plumber?
It's really funny. I went to a social media marketing conference 3 years ago, Social Media Marketing World in San Diego. We had been paying marketing companies a lot of money, and we were literally getting ripped off. And I mean, David, we paid some marketing companies tens of thousands of dollars, and they literally made our phone stop ringing.
Whoa.
So it was sad. They would rebuild the website and do everything, and the phones would literally stop. I mean, stop so bad. Like when you were in high school, you're waiting for a girl to call you, you're picking up the phone and you're like calling your number, calling another friend saying, hey, call me back. I want to make sure my ringer's working. We would call the office number to make sure the phones weren't down. And Julia and I decided that I was going to go to a social media conference out in San Diego, Social Media Marketing World. It was phenomenal, but I was walking down the hall. Remember, I'm a plumber. I'm not a marketing guy. I'm not an advertiser. I literally was walking down the hall and I saw a placard that says, get in front of your customers using video. And I walked in, I sat on the front row. That's the kind of person I am. I don't want anything between me and the speaker so I can get distracted, anything like that.
Yep.
But it was Daryl Eves talking. And I was listening to him. One of the first things he said is, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. David, I literally shut my notebook. I thought, this guy has no idea what he's talking about. YouTube is just where I store my videos. And I turned around to get up and walk out. And there were people standing along the walls all around the room. Every chair was full. The next words he said were, and it's owned by Google, the largest search engine in the world. So guess where people are going? And I sat down, and you would be surprised how much smarter he got over the next 45 minutes. It was pretty good.
Okay, so Social Media Marketing World, you said, okay, this YouTube thing might work. What was the first steps you took in your sort of YouTube journey?
I made a decision that by the next month, this was Social Media Marketing World ended March the 1st or March 2nd. So the first week of April, we decided we were going to start posting 3 videos a week.
Yeah.
And it was literally, and I hate to say it, I'm on a webcam today because I'm down in Houston. We literally, this is what I started. I started shooting on a webcam. I actually talked loud because I used the microphone on the computer. Today, at least I have a lavalier with me.
Yeah.
But that's what we started at. And we started making videos about plumbing, giving people plumbing tips. And one thing that I realized from that first session in YouTube was learning not to sell, just to get in and bring people great value. And we started out doing that from day one, and it's worked out very well for us.
Perfect. And that was March, April 2018.
Yes, sir.
And so like
three years ago.
Yeah. So yeah, you're coming up to your 3-year anniversary. And
yes,
in that time, you've grown from like little acorn up to like 276,000 subscribers on a plumbing channel.
When I was at Social Media Marketing World, I had under 10 subscribers. I literally thought
your wife,
YouTube
your
was
mother, the mother-in-law,
yeah,
the dog,
exactly.
the cat.
Yes, you're right. And literally, I used YouTube to store videos. That was all it was for.
Yep.
I literally had no idea until I walked into that conference that you could use YouTube the way you did, and we really started using it.
So you mentioned there that you said, okay, we're just going to give people valuable information, no sell, no nothing. Well, maybe a little bit of a sell. But how did that help then grow like over time? Like what were those milestones that you thought, yeah, this can work? And now it's okay, we need to really focus on this to grow.
What we started doing is we started making content teaching every homeowner how to fix their own plumbing.
Yeah.
And that was my mindset in the beginning. I want to teach homeowners how to fix almost any problem that they have around the house.
Which is sort of counterintuitive for a plumber, like a professional plumber.
You know, and I had a lot of plumbers messaging me saying, man, what are you doing? You're taking money out of our pockets. Yeah. But the neat thing is the more we learn to read our analytics and look at them and read our comments and engage with our viewers, we realized we've got a lot of people that want to get into the trades, people that are in the trades that want to learn more and get better, people that are in the trades and want to learn how to open their own company, and even plumbing company owners that wanted to learn how do I do social media like you're doing?
Yeah.
So we kind of pivoted a little bit, started changing who we were speaking to, and we really started growing.
Okay. So you started out helping the homeowner fix their own plumbing problems. But then all of a sudden, because you were getting this attention from people online checking out how to fix a leaky pipe or stuff like this, you then attracted the plumbing professionals onto your channel. And
that's exactly how it worked. And what's funny is with SEO and keywords and whatnot, you learn how to do things. And you know, watching you teach about, look, how do you get more views? How do you get more subscribers? How do you do things? And you watch and you start doing the things that you teach every day. You start doing that and you start growing. It's funny, I was on a YouTube channel the other day and they were talking to me. They said, Roger, if people want to find you, how do they find you? I said, just go to YouTube and search plumbing. And they're like, okay, wait a minute. Did y'all hear that? Can you imagine being a chiropractor, being a dentist, being anything in the world, a plumber, and just tell people, look, just go to YouTube and search plumbing. You'll find me.
Yep.
We've done very well in just under 3 years.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Phenomenally, like well over 250,000 subscribers, 28 million views, like bucket loads of watch time. So that's absolutely phenomenal, especially in that 3-year period. So you said, okay, now you're beginning to attract the plumbing professionals. And so you're helping how to get into the plumbing trade, because I've looked at some of your videos and phenomenal stuff, like how to become a plumber, how to grow your plumbing business, all of these how-to business, plumbing business videos were popping up. Then to grow your channel again, what was the next stage you went to?
I think the next stage that we went to is, when we first started our channel, it was called Texas Green Plumbing. That's the name of my plumbing company in Richardson, just northeast of Dallas. But we had won a contest, or I had won a contest 2 years before from American Standard. They were looking for the next expert plumber. And I won this contest. We made a video, we submitted it, they chose us. So for a year, I did social media with American Standard. I was on their Facebook pages going live. They've got about 8 or 9 videos on their YouTube channel with me in it. And it was really good. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. When it came time to renew that contract, I asked them, can I help y'all with YouTube? Can I do things with y'all? Can I have a little bit more control? Because I'd started studying it. And they said, look, we want to do things our way. And I just decided, look, it's probably best for me to go on my own way. So we changed the channel from Texas Green Plumbing to the Expert Plumber, because that was the name that American Standard had given me. The neat thing is, once we started doing that, we started realizing we were getting more and more plumbers, people already in the trades and people wanting to get into the trades, to join. But then our next pivot came probably about a year and a half later, when we started realizing we've got electricians, we've got HVAC techs, we've got roofers, we've got landscapers, we've got window cleaners. We've got every kind of residential trade company watching us, and the tradespeople themselves. So we changed the brand again from the Expert Plumber to Roger Wakefield. Because what I teach about plumbing and how to get into the trades and all that, it goes for any trade that there is. And now we're really helping a lot more people.
Perfect. So you sort of went full circle, like starting out as Roger Wakefield, then you went into the Expert Plumber, then you went into Texas Green Plumber, or the other way around, and then back all the way to Roger Wakefield.
Absolutely. The neat thing about it is we've always been true to the brand. We always preach the same thing. And literally, when I say I don't sell in my videos, I never tell them, hey, look, if y'all need to, call my company, do anything like this. Now, in our first videos, kind of like here, I'm in a hotel room, there was a banner behind me that said Texas Green Plumbing, had the website, had the phone number and stuff like that. But I never even pointed it out and said, hey, look, if y'all want to, call me. My philosophy behind social media is, if you bring people great value, you give them great content, and you engage with them, they will find out how to get in touch with you if they really want to. And it does. It works very well.
Exactly. And it's like the whole social selling thing is like, hey, I'm giving you this for free. Do with it what you will. If you want to take it, take it. But if you want to go further, you'll find me.
Absolutely. And it works that way.
Absolutely. Perfect. So now you've really jumped into the whole YouTube style marketing thing very well. Like, I've seen your React videos. They're phenomenal. Your thumbnails are great. They really stand out a mile. Like, I really love like the massive wrench you have on your channel art. I'll just pop that up here now. If I share my screen, share screen. No, wrong one. Anyway, I'll try to bring it up in a minute. But yeah, it's your branding and stuff is phenomenal. So what would you say to people who are going, oh, I don't know if I can do those funny faces on the thumbnails or be expressive or stuff like that, or can I do that sort of thing on YouTube? Like, I have to be professional. What would you say to business owners who have that sort of reaction to YouTube?
The funny thing is, David, I really think that I'm still being professional, but you've got to think about it. Google Analytics can look at your thumbnail and tell if you're happy, if you're sad, if you're angry, if you're upset, if you're showing too much skin, what kind of burger you're eating, what plumbing fixture or product you're showing. The analytics and the Google, it can read everything. And so my thing is, if I am making a video about a plumber who ripped a customer off, I want to show an upset face. I want them to understand, look, this is something to get upset about. So And in the beginning, I didn't do that. In the beginning, it was just, okay, smile for a
Yeah.
picture, make a video, make a thumbnail. And the more we studied, the more we started learning. It's like, okay, there's something that we can do here. And the Google AI, literally, it can read everything on
Yeah.
your thumbnail. So give it as much help as you can.
Perfect. And the same, it's like it's watching your video. It's able to look at your video. It knows if you're in a supermarket, what product aisle you're in, the brands that are on the shelf. So yeah, it is phenomenal what the AI can do. And as you said, help the AI understand what's the sort of theme around your video and the thumbnail, so that you can get not only, well, you can get the AI to help you, but also you're helping the viewer, the potential person to click on it, to go, this, what's the curiosity value, or why, what is it about this video that I should click on the thumbnail?
And that's a good way to put it, the curiosity level of the viewer. And one thing that we do when we create thumbnails and titles, the one thing we tell each other, because I've got a team now that helps me, but it's, if a viewer is scrolling on their phone, we want to give them a thumbnail and a title that they have to click on.
Yeah,
They've just got to know, what is this video all about? And we try to really do that every video we make.
Fantastic. Now, for the viewers, if you have a question for Roger, pop it in the chat area and we'll get Roger to answer that for you. So go ahead, pop your questions in for Roger. If you're a business owner or a YouTuber or both, what is your question for Roger? Pop that in the chat area and we'll get that for you. We have a couple of people just reading the comments here. We've got a couple of people who've already subscribed to your channel. So thank you very much for that. I'm sure Roger won't say no.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we got a couple of people in the house. Yeah, we got a couple of people. We got Chatty Caddy says hi. We got Windows Professional. Like, I don't know if that's Microsoft Windows or whether it's the things that you look through, but hey, how are you? They subscribe to your channel. And yeah, because a couple of people are asking for your link to your channel. So Lena has given that. If you want the link to Roger's channel, it's youtube.com/Roger, ROGER, Wakefield, WAKEFIELD. And Lena has also popped that in the comments area as well for you to click on, and also hit subscribe and see how Roger does his videos, especially as a sort of a plumbing professional or just as a business owner, how he does his videos to grow his, not just his channel, but also his business as well. So there's a perfect segue. So now you're growing your channel. How is that affecting your business overall?
It's been great for the business. We literally started out, whenever we started, we were still paying about $3,000 a month for Google, meaning we were paying for Google ads. And once we started doing YouTube videos and the channel started growing, literally we realized we were getting as many or more calls in from YouTube than we were from the Google ads.
Really?
And it literally, I remember walking out of the office one day and my CSR, Amber, literally looked at me and she said, you know that we got 3 slab leak repair jobs off YouTube last week. And I said, or no, today. I said, well, what do you mean? How do you know that? Well, we track every call that comes in. She documents it and she asks them, where did you hear about us? And the week before, we had gone out and done 3 leak detection jobs. They all closed. We found the leaks, told them where it was, gave them an estimate. They approved it. So that day that I walked out, we had approved 3 tunnel jobs. Here in Texas, we build slab on grade houses on black clay. And a lot of times we have to tunnel up under the houses to make the repair. David, that can be anywhere from a $5,000 repair to a $80,000 repair.
Holy moly.
So three jobs like that came in off YouTube the week before, and we closed them that day. It's a lot of clicks on Google and pay-per-click and things like that to make your phone ring that much to get those kind of jobs.
Bring in 5 figures of business minimum, just from doing some YouTube videos.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Okay, so How soon after you started your channel did you see an uptake in your business coming from YouTube?
To be honest, it probably took about a year before
Mm-hmm.
we really noticed, hey, we are getting calls off YouTube. In the beginning, either Julie or Amber would come to me and say, oh my gosh, look, we got a call off YouTube today. And it was something to be celebrated.
Yeah.
The neat thing about it is now most of our calls come off YouTube.
Yeah.
We just started doing the Google ads again because we're Google certified or Google guaranteed,
Yeah.
which is a new tool that they've rolled out here in the United States. And it's fantastic. They guarantee that they've checked me. I'm a licensed plumber. I've got insurance. We're doing everything by the book. So, they require so much advertising per week or month in order to do that.
Yeah.
But to me, it was worth it. And now it is literally, our phone rings every day and people tell Amber, look, I saw y'all on YouTube. I love what you're doing. I love the message that you preach, and we want y'all to do our work.
Wow. And while we're at, big shout out to Amber, who sort of helped set all of this up. So thank you very much for that, Amber. I'm glad you're getting excited from calls coming in from YouTube. Very interesting indeed. So I want to talk about your branding, because I love your branding. Like if you want to check Roger out, go to rogerwakefield.com as well. After you've checked his channel, obviously, and subscribed, go to rogerwakefield.com, and on there it's a bit about you, and it's about how you can help people. Your services, not just the plumbing, because that's at texasgreenplumbing.com.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
so that's your plumbing service. So, but you, like as the celebrity entity type person, if you go to rogerwakefield.com, you'll see you've got your branding of the face and then the mustache, which I love. How did that come about? Bit of a basic question, but what was the decision to go, let's go with the mustache?
The neat thing is, when I won the contest with American Standard, they had created a similar logo with the expert plumber on it.
Yeah.
And we really did like that. When we didn't renew with them, we took the logo, we changed it up, we changed the face up a little bit. We made the line broader, we made the handlebar mustache come down a little bit further. And then we had put Roger Wakefield, the expert plumber. Then a little bit later, we removed the expert plumber and just made it Roger Wakefield.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a logo that people recognize, they remember, and it's definitely got us great recognition.
Absolutely. I love the branding on there. And the other thing as well is, not only are you the expert plumber, but now you're America's favorite plumber, which I love.
And I don't know how accurate that is, but it's, luckily we get a lot of great comments on our YouTube channel, and we love engaging with the community. One of the neat things is, and just to tell you a quick story, we're in Houston because we have another business down here. We help people network to grow their business.
Yep.
But we knew that we were coming down. A young lady reached out to me 2 weeks ago and said, look, I want to tell you about my fiance. Said he's had a rough life, a rough upbringing, but he got in plumbing 3 years ago and he loves it. He watches your videos all the time, and you're like his mentor, his father figure.
Nice.
So she wanted to drive up to Dallas and see if she could come by and visit us. And I messaged her back. I said, well, unfortunately, I'm not going to be in town. Matter of fact, I'm going to be in Houston, which is where they're from. So I said, let Julie and I take y'all out to dinner. So we took them out to dinner last night, and to meet this young man who met me on YouTube and started following me and watching me, it is such a wonderful feeling to be able to give back to your community. And that was just such a wonderful experience last night. And David, you do it too. You touch people's lives when you teach them how to use YouTube, and it changes their lives. So I really do. I appreciate the things that you do for the community. I think it's amazing.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, it is humbling when you get people, and you get it as well. People will go, what, that video you make or the video in your YouTube channel has helped so much. When somebody turns around and says, yeah, I started watching your videos a year ago, and now I'm working full time in whatever it is that plumbing, or you're full time on YouTube. It is a humbling experience because these thousands of people, like hundreds of thousands of people that we touch, we have no idea who they are. Like all they are like ones and zeros to us in the analytics. We've no names or anything like that. We've definitely no faces. And then when they turn around in a comment or a message and go, you know what, you changed my life. It's like, whoa, it is humbling when that happens.
And I'm really lucky because I've got to have the conversation with Michael Stelzner, who owns Social Media Marketing World.
Yeah.
I've got to have the conversation with Daryl Eves. Jeremy Vest coached me for a while on YouTube. I've got to talk to Nick Nemeth. I've got to talk to you now and tell you thank you, because there's certain people that I've watched and learned from, and it's been very beneficial. But the neat thing is, and I think the thing that a lot of people don't understand is, when you become a YouTube content creator and you get to the point of monetization, and you get to the point that you really do, you start to grow.
Yeah.
The income can be amazing. And it's something that really a lot of YouTubers don't talk about in the beginning. But I mean, I make almost 9 figures a year just off YouTube now. And it's through advertising on my channel. It's through sponsorship through my channel.
Yeah.
But this is something that whenever I started doing it, I never even thought about. The idea that YouTube would actually pay me money to make videos one day, that blew my mind. And I wish more people would learn that, because I think it would tell them, look, this is the reason to get started, and to get started right now.
Yeah, perfect. So that actually, there's a great question there. So for you, from a like as a plumber, like again, I want to bring it back. Like, this isn't your standard YouTube style channel. So as a plumber, how does a business owner, or even like just as a business owner, how does a business owner get sponsorship on their channel?
It's funny because we started reaching out to potential sponsors when we had 10,000 subs.
Yeah. Yeah. 10,
because we thought, hey,
okay, so it's not even like 100,000. You're talking 10,000.
10,000 subs. We were getting about 200,000 views a month.
Nice.
And it's like, hey, you know what? We can start talking to people and just kind of putting feelers out.
Yeah.
And we eventually reached out to one of the biggest plumbing supply companies in the world. And we started talking. By the time we had agreed on the sponsorship agreement, we were up to 40,000 subscribers.
Nice.
By the time we made the first video for them, we were over 200,000 subscribers.
Wow.
So it was really crazy. From August to, I guess the beginning of August to September, October, we grew from about 50,000 subscribers to over 200,000 subscribers. Wow. It was crazy.
Wow. And was this during lockdown last year? This was during lockdown, yeah.
Yes, sir, it was.
So again,
yes,
like going back to how to help a homeowner fix their leak, the world is in lockdown. I've got a leak. It still needs to be fixed. Just because we're in lockdown doesn't mean that I can't just, stop any leaks happening. So they're going to your channel. They're going, oh, this Roger guy's got some good information. And then they're finding out that, and then clicking on the subscribe button. So you've gone from 40, 50K up to 200K in a few short months. And in that time, your sponsor is probably going, well, hey, I've probably got a great deal on this sponsorship deal with you, because they've 5x their subscribers in that time, and I've got a great sponsorship deal.
Not a bad deal for them. They're in learning to read the numbers, and you said it really good a while ago when we were talking about analytics. You said a lot of times we just see the numbers.
Yeah.
We're getting between 2.5 and 5 million views a month.
Nice.
And 80 to 85% of those are non-subscribers.
Yeah.
So this is people just going in searching YouTube trying to solve a problem, and I'm the problem solver that they come up with. So yeah, the potential here is really phenomenal for any business owner. Like you said, David, remember, I'm just a plumber. That's what I do. I'm in Texas right now. We've been solving people's leaks and busted pipes and trying to help them get water back on. I'm a plumber. I just learned to use YouTube to show people what we do. And it's been really beneficial for us.
Fantastic. And so like there's a good thing for business owners. Like when you have your SEO dialed in, and not just on YouTube, because that will also transfer over to Google as well. Is that when you do have that, chances are, like, are people going to subscribe if they're just looking for how to fix a tap leak or something like that? Possibly not, unless they just have leaky everything, like as a plumber. But what you can do is, like, you might get one touch with somebody, but then they may have another issue that you come back to them 2 months later or something like that. And you may build up a relationship over a longer period of time, because we're similar to you. Like, the majority of our views come from non-subscribers, because we have our SEO dialed in. Like, we do, like, it's typically like, you know, how to set up a YouTube channel. So they set up a YouTube channel and that's it. They don't really stick around. Or we've got some other trending videos that don't necessarily lend themselves to subscribe to a channel long term and learn more stuff, which you have content similar. So as a business owner, you're going to get that, and you're like, well, why can't I get more people to subscribe, or why can't I get more views from subscribers? Because if you are helping people with a one-off issue, then that's it. It's a one-off thing, so they don't feel the need to subscribe. Now, we've got a couple of questions coming in, and we've got one plumber-related question here. It says, what would you recommend for a young new plumber to do on YouTube to get at least some of the success you have had business-wise? Very good question.
And from a young plumber, you're going to look at it from a different point of view that I do. I look at it, I'm a master plumber. I've got 40 years experience. I own my own company. As a young plumber coming in, you know, make videos about the struggles that you have. Hey, look, I've got to learn how to do this to get better. And here's my problem: learning the math, learning the tools, learning the safety equipment, learning communications with customers. There's so many different things that you have an opportunity for that really I don't even see anymore, because being a plumbing company owner, I don't think about it from somebody getting in the trades. And don't get me wrong, I was an instructor in the union here, so I got to deal with a lot of apprentices coming in. So I do know a lot of the problems that they had and a lot of issues and struggles that they were trying to get through. And I do try to address a lot of that. We've got videos or even trainings where we've got a mini course where we teach people to figure out what kind of plumber do you want to be. And a lot of people don't even know that when they get in the trades. There's different type plumbers. There's residential, commercial, there's service, new construction, there's union, there's non-union. So we made a video explaining that to people and asking them, if you got into plumbing, what kind of plumber do you think you'd want to be? And that helps a lot of people. So a new plumber coming in has a whole gambit of possible videos that they can make and see things from a different point of view.
Exactly. And it's like they're just documenting their journey as this new plumber. And it's the same for any sort of business professional, that, you know, they start typically at the lower levels and then they've got to work their way up. So whether it's a plumber or an accountant or whatever, it doesn't make a difference. They can still document that whole process and the struggles and the things they've learned that week, because there's legislation. They've got to learn, you know, the government rules and the laws and the things around what it is they do. And that then will help connect them with their audience to go, hey, I just learned about this new legislation that's come in, which helps the homeowner, protects them against X, Y, Z or whatever. So that, as you say, that can help them tremendously.
Yeah, and it's neat you talked about the legislation, because I'm a very non-political person. I try not to get involved with politics. I've never liked politicians, anything at all like that. But 2 years ago, they started trying to change the plumbing license law.
Really?
And move it over under another agency. And I think that's one thing that I addressed that really helped my channel grow, because I was going down to the state capitol here in Texas. I was carrying video cameras and microphones and interviewing people and getting up and speaking before Congress and saying, hey, look, the House of Representatives and the senators, and explaining to them why I thought we needed to keep it where it needed to be. I interviewed the executive director for TDLR. I interviewed the executive director for the PHCC Texas. And it's like, look, it blew my mind how much politics are involved in our license.
Yep.
But it's funny that you mentioned that, because now I understand it, and now it's a political game, and we've got to be involved.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no ways of getting around it, unfortunately. So
It's
okay, so
tough.
yeah, we got a couple of more questions. Okay, what was the best job you got from YouTube? There's a great question.
You know, oh man, one of the best jobs that I got, what was a big sewer pipe replacement under a house where we literally tunneled all the way through it. That was a
Wow.
neat one. But one of the most gratifying for me, I guess, we had a lady call one day and she says, look, I've had 2 different plumbers come out to my house. Plumber number 1 told me all the pipe under my house needed to be replaced.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be $60,000.
Of course it is.
Plumber number plumber number 2 came back and said there's nothing wrong under my house. Nothing needs to be replaced. She said, I just want somebody to come be honest with me. So we said, look, can we bring a video crew? And she said, absolutely. We went out, we did a sewer water test, tested everything. There was nothing wrong under her house. And not only did we prove it, we proved it on video. We documented it, and it made her day that she didn't have to spend $50,000.
Boom. Fantastic. And again, it's these things that they're little things overall when you look at it, but for those people, it means a difference, because she's probably lying awake at night going, is my plumbing safe, or is there a leak, or whatever? I've got 2 very different points of view from alleged professionals. I just need, as you said, someone to be honest.
Right. And think about it. 2 different points of views. You don't know good, bad, or ugly.
Exactly.
I told you we build slab houses on a clay top dirt foundation, and a leak under a house can lead to foundation problems, and that leads to several $1,000s worth of repairs.
Yeah. Absolutely. And again, it's just one of those things. You don't want to wake up when your house is just sinking into a quicksand pit.
Yeah, that's not a good feeling.
Okay. Okay, so we do have a question here. I can just pull this up. Okay, where we go? Here we go. So we got a question from Inga Fabrina. She says, do you think YouTube is the best platform to help your business?
Inga, I absolutely do. And let me tell you why. And it goes back to the first thing that I heard at that social media marketing conference. YouTube is a search engine. And as a business, I mean, think about it. If it's worth you advertising on Google to get people to pay-per-click, it's worth creating videos on YouTube, because those same people that go in and do pay-per-click or go in and look at your ads, they're searching for something. And if you have a video out there that answers the problem as to what they're looking for, and your video gets brought up in front of them, you can become their trusted advisor. And if you can do that, they will invite you into their home. They will invite you into their workout. I get up in the morning and I watch David. I watch different people on YouTube while I'm on the treadmill, because if I can watch somebody and learn and they become my trusted advisor, man, what a great feeling. And it works. It pays off. It will help anybody grow their business if they do it right.
Absolutely. And that's what I tell people. It's like you are inviting people, or people are inviting you into their lives, because they have the choice. They can either, swipe up or whatever, or click off. They've got so many choices today that when they click on your thumbnail and watch your video, preferably all the way to the end and click the subscribe button at the end, they're inviting you into their lives. And when they go to the next video and go, oh, the next one looks interesting, and it goes to the next video and the next video and the next video, you've been in their life. You could be there for a half an hour or an hour, like the length of a workout or whatever, with those people, and you can help them with their plumbing or grow their channel or whatever it is that they're doing. That, again, it goes back to what we were saying earlier. We don't know the people we're affecting. We don't know the people who we're helping change their lives. And by putting out that valuable content, and as you mentioned earlier, not selling on there, just giving value, and they will once they've invited you into their life, then they will go, you know what, this guy talks a lot of sense. I want to know more. What does he have to sell?
And I like the way you put that, because I reached out to Owen Video, He MCs a lot of the
Yeah.
social media conferences. But Owen also teaches people how to monetize YouTube. And he has a slide deck that he had put out, and I sent him a message, said, "Oh, hey, Owen, look, can I get the entire slide deck?" And that's what I use to help me put together my sponsorship package.
Yeah.
And, I heard him one morning talking about it while I was on the treadmill. And it's like, you know what? I want to reach out to him because he was doing something for Ecamm or somebody and going through. So he didn't do the entire presentation. So I just reached out to him and said, "Hey, Owen, look, I'd really like to see that entire slide deck."
Yeah.
And he sent it to me, and I modified it, made it fit what I wanted to do. And that literally is what helped seal the deal for my first sponsorship. And, when I reached back out to him and told him the value of it, it blew his mind. He's like, "Man, I am so glad that I got to help you." And that's why I say, David, what you do touches lives. You may not always realize it, but there's people like me out there that have gone into a 6 or 7 figure a year income on top of our normal jobs. And it's because of people like you giving away the value that you do.
Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. So again, I want to pull this sort of like for business owners. So yeah, you've got the business that you're getting from YouTube, which YouTube has helped you grow your business. And you also have the money, the revenue from YouTube itself. And we're in the similar position. We do quite well from the AdSense revenue on our channel. And work talking to a lot of colleagues and stuff, we see that some mad numbers, like 6 figures a month from AdSense revenue. What would you say to business owners to say, like, yeah, I want to start my YouTube channel to grow my business? What would you say to them to help them not only grow their business, but also grow this alternative source of revenue?
Here's what I would tell you, and this is what I did. So I'm telling you what I talk about works. After I started making videos on YouTube and learning how to make good content, be consistent at it, do it on a regular basis, even though we weren't getting a lot of viewers, what I did then is I started getting onto LinkedIn and starting connecting. I mean, think about it. I'm a plumber in the Dallas area. So I started connecting with every real estate agent that I could, thinking a real estate agent can connect me to a ton of people.
Nice.
It's why my wife and I are involved with Master Networks. We help people grow their businesses through networking. LinkedIn is a great place to network.
Yeah.
So we literally started connecting with real estate agents, and I would send them information when I connected. Hey, I'm going to be a plumbing influencer on YouTube and LinkedIn. We've got videos that you can use to help educate your buyers or sellers about things they should do per their plumbing system when they go to buy or sell a house.
Nice.
And it was phenomenal because we'd send them videos. They'd call us and, "Hey, Roger, look, I've never had anybody put a sewer water test the way that you just put it. I love this. Can I share this with my buyers, with my sellers?" And we started taking our YouTube videos. We could repurpose them, cut out a section, repurpose it on LinkedIn. Now we're doing LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. We're doing everything, but it all starts with this long form content that we can share other places to help drive people back to YouTube.
Perfect. And yeah, I totally agree with you on the LinkedIn thing. Is like, yeah, we do something similar. It's like we repurpose our videos. We take snippets and put them up on LinkedIn because that's where you can connect with your target audience, especially when you're a local business. Like if you've got a location that you work with, as you said, in the Dallas area, you can connect with those real estate agents in the Dallas area, give them your content, provide this value up front, selling nothing again, and then they turn around and go, "You know what? We've got a development. We need a plumber. Can you come out and price the job for us?"
And not only that, when they go to a house and they look at it and they're like, "Hey, you know what? This is kind of an older house. You may want to reach out and get a sewer water test done. I've got a guy that can do that." And that's what leads to the big tunnel jobs under the slab. Start out with the sewer water test, find out if there's a problem.
Yep. And it all started from one 5-10 minute video.
Absolutely. And most of our videos are probably 8 to 12 minutes long. We don't go super long. We don't go super short. We want to give them the value that they need.
Yep.
We don't want to just sit and talk and ramble on. So I think that we've got pretty good at that.
Yep. Yep. Well, 28 million views later, I think so.
We are getting some views. That's good.
One or two. Yeah, one or two. So we got a quick comment here. Total admiration from you both, from the Rusty Blades YouTube barber, who has now become a barber since lockdown. So he's actually turned to YouTube himself. And now he's got 91 subscribers. Let's pull it up here. It says, that's what I'm doing, being made unemployed due to COVID. I decided to go barbering and show it doesn't matter how old you are, you can do it. I'm currently sat at 91 subscribers. So yeah, if anybody wants to subscribe to a barber channel, click on the Rusty Blades. I'm sure he would gladly accept 9 more subscribers to get to that 100 subs.
And I want to say something too. The Rusty Blades, number one, I used to be a cosmetologist. I started plumbing in high school. I plumbed when I got out, but I've always been one of these overambitious people. I've always loved learning. My dad helped my sister buy a hair salon. They wanted me to help manage it.
Wow.
And I said, look, I don't know anything about hair. He said, so go to school and learn. I said, okay. So I went to school, became a cosmetologist. Then I opened my own salon in a health club. I had people coming in all the time asking if we did massage. So I started doing research on it. It's like, look, I can go to school for a couple of months and be a massage therapist.
Yeah.
So I did it. So Rusty Blades, what I want to tell you is, look, you're right. You can teach people how you cut hair, how you do fades, how you do this, how you do that, and show people what you do. I teach people how to do plumbing. There's going to be a lot of people say, look, man, I know you showed me how to cut this haircut, but I like the way you do it. I'm not going to cut my husband's hair. I'm not going to cut my girlfriend's hair, whatever it is. So getting your name out there, you become the trusted advisor. And they're like, hey, look, I'm not going to do this, but I've got a guy. Let's call the Rusty Blade.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. And again, it's because of that, you're not location specific then. Like YouTube is global, so apart from 4 countries in the world, but it's like you're not restricted by location then, so you can affect people all over the world. A couple of last questions for you. Like, you have a video on mean comments, I guess. So what are some of the mean comments you've got on your channel?
Oh my God. People tell me I'm horrible, that I don't know what I'm doing, that, I'm the worst plumber they've ever seen. I make videos about solder joints and braze joints, and I have people leave messages, say, look, if you worked for me, I'd fire you. And just it is what it is. The funny thing is, look, I've been plumbing for 40 years. I feel like I know what I'm doing. When I made the video about the free mini course about construction, service, residential, commercial, union, non-union, it's because I've done every bit of it. I know what it's all about. So the main comments was really funny. We've got a voicemail in there that somebody called the office one day.
No.
Oh yeah, they called and left the voicemail, and we've got it in the video. And I mean, the guy just, man, let me have it. I laughed about it. But It's like, the bad thing is, I think that's why a lot of YouTubers never get started. They're like, look, people are going to talk bad about me. People are going to hate me. People are going to say bad things. Okay. You know what? If I can make a nice 5-figure a month income and I get 3 or 4 people that tell me I don't know what I'm doing, they'd fire me, or I'm just not a good plumber, look, that's not going to hurt my feelings. I'm helping a lot of people do their own plumbing, learn how to do plumbing. The young man that I met last night is literally like, Roger, look, I'm the best plumber. And he's a 3rd-year apprentice. He says, I'm one of the best plumbers at my company because I study plumbing all the time. I listen to what you say. I want to be the very best I can be.
Yeah.
And that's what I started doing when I started doing YouTube. I started out making videos teaching people how to fix their own plumbing. And I knew, look, I want to be a good plumbing video channel. Once I saw how fast we were growing and that we were, I still study YouTube religiously every week.
Yep.
And I watch you, I watch Nick, I watch Daryl, I watch so many different people. What can I learn from you? If I can learn one tip or trick from you, David, that somebody else hadn't taught me and it benefits me, oh my gosh, it's a blessing. So I still study it. But to listen to him last night and talk about how, look, Roger, I take what you say and I want to be the very best. We wanted to be a good plumbing channel. Then we wanted to be the best plumbing channel. And now I'm looking at things that's like, look, I want to be a great YouTube channel, not just a great plumbing channel.
Yeah.
I want other YouTubers to look at me and say, hey, look at what Roger's doing. He's doing things different. He's doing it right. This is phenomenal. And that really is a big deal to me.
Phenomenal. I love the way you're going to the next level each time. It's like, yeah, so we're a decent plumbing channel. Now we're the best YouTube or best plumbing channel. Now we want to be a great just YouTube channel in general. I love how you're going to the next level with everything, and you can see that in your numbers. So on that note, you've touched a bit on it. So what would you say to the business owners or even just the YouTubers watching this video? What would you say to them? What would be the best steps for them, like mindset or whatever, for them to grow their channel to get to that first stage and then the next stage and the next?
The very first thing I would tell you, and I mean, y'all can see I'm on a webcam today. It's nothing perfect. I feel sorry for David for having me on. I'm not in my studio, but literally sit down in front of your webcam. Think about the top 20 questions that people call your office and ask. Does not matter what business you're in. The Rusty Blades, an accountant. People call and ask you questions all the time. Every time people call, write that question down because that's a video.
Yeah.
And make those videos. Now, here's how you help grow your YouTube channel. You post part of that video on LinkedIn. Hey, we have people call and ask us this question all the time. Here's part of the answer. Share that little snippet of the video.
Yep.
Now, here's a good one. The next time somebody calls your office and says, hey, what all information do I need to get together for you to become my bookkeeper? You know what? We've got a video for that. If you'll go to our YouTube channel, you can watch that. And then if you'll click on the description below, we've got a complete list of the things that you need to know. And go watch that. If you have any questions, please call us back. You can go ahead and get their name, email address, and phone number. Now you can put them in your CRM. So if you're ever putting out great value that could help them, you could add them to it. But also ask them when you get their email address. Look, every now and then we'll send out things that can help people. Would you like us to add you to our email list? That way, whenever we send out documentation, links to videos, things like that, you'll be notified. And you'd be surprised how many times like, oh my God, yes, I would love that.
Beautiful. Love it. And of course, when you say go watch our YouTube video, people's barriers come down immediately because they go, oh, it's on YouTube. Then, there's I don't have to sign up for anything. I don't have to give you any details. I can just go here. I can get this for free. So again, it's they're inviting you into their lives, like we touched on earlier. And your value level just goes through the roof. I absolutely love that. Love that. Okay. So
go ahead.
You obviously had something else you wanted to add to that.
I was just going to say, and it's a comment here. Two different comments. Lena says, look, Roger's very inspiring, and the Rusty Blades, look, he's a humble guy. At the end of the day, guys, I'm a plumber. That is, I have no formal education. I'm not an advertising agency. I'm not a big marketing firm or anything like that, although I've got my team now. But look, there's nothing for me to be crazy about. I'm a plumber that has learned how to make YouTube videos to help people. And that is one of the greatest feelings on earth when I get to meet like an apprentice last night. When I have a homeowner call me and say, look, I'm a single mom and I could not afford a plumber to come out and fix my running toilet. But since you taught me how to do that, I fixed all 4 of them. When you get messages and comments like that, it brings tears to your eyes. You're like, wow, I really am using YouTube to help people. And it's such an amazing feeling.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay. So, last thoughts on like any business owner who's thinking they still might be thinking that YouTube wouldn't work for them, or it's just for kids or funny cat videos. What would you say to them?
Well, number one, look at me. I'm not a kid. Uh, that's one thing that the apprentice asked last night. He says, look, I got to ask you a question. What made you start doing YouTube? Because you're not a really young person. And, I love it.
Thank you for saying so. Yeah.
You bet. And I mean, I get that question a lot, but it's like, to me, there's not a business out there that can't use YouTube to grow. You've got to do things right. And that's why, I mean, look, you're here watching David right now. This is where you learn it from. And the neat thing about it is, if you do the things David talks about, the things I've talked about here, you bring people great value, you give them great content, and get started with it. I mean, we literally started out with iPhones and webcams.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, in my studio now, I've got $2,500 to $5,000 cameras. So we've definitely upped our game. But we started doing that by putting out great content and value, and then making a little bit of money, and just say, look, let's reinvest that money in a microphone, in a camera, in lights, and it all pays off. And still, guys, I invest in education and training, whether it's YouTube, whether it's for my plumbing business, whatever it is. I'm constantly wanting to learn how to get better. So again, David, I do appreciate everything you do.
Oh, thank you very much. And Chatty Cathy, who's a regular on our live streams, says, I'm definitely inspired right now. This is exactly what I needed this week. Well, there you go, Chatty Cathy. Something for you. Tie you over till Saturday, till we see you next. Okay, so Roger, thank you. Phenomenal information there. I want to thank you very much for sharing your experience and sharing those stories. It's been an absolute pleasure. Again, if you haven't subscribed to Roger yet, make sure to go to youtube.com/Roger Wakefield. And even if it's just to see how Roger does his videos, because different people do videos in a different way that you can learn from. And as Roger said earlier, he will study different people, whether he's in that niche or not. And if there's one thing you can take away, and I know I've been watching Roger's videos and seeing what I can do to even up my game. Using what Roger does. And again, it doesn't matter whether you're a plumber, or electrician, YouTuber, or whatever. There's something you can learn from people like that. So make sure to subscribe to Roger, youtube.com/Roger Wakefield. And also visit his website, rogerwakefield.com. And especially any sort of professional like plumbers or anything like that, especially if you are in the US or you're considering plumbing and you live in the US, rogerwakefield.com. Check him out and see how he can help you. So again, thank you, Roger. It's been absolutely phenomenal and amazing to have you here today.
David, thank you for the opportunity. It's been my pleasure. Look, you have a great community. I love reading these comments, and you're doing things right, and that's what helps people. So thank you for allowing me to be here. I really do appreciate it. And last word of thought for everybody is, look, you can use YouTube to grow your business. You've just got to decide to do it.
Boom. On that note, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.